Welcome to the Buying Legal Counsel Talk with Magen McClintock, procurement strategist at KeyBank. We talk about the legal procurement schedule today. Megan, procurement teams across various industries operate according to an annual rhythm. So legal procurement takes on a cadence of its own. Can you describe this ebb and flow of activities of a legal procurement professional's typical year?
Yes, so a legal procurement professional's annual schedule will vary depending on if it is a year that focuses on repaneling or not. So repaneling is determining who your strategic partner firms are and then negotiating rates with those firms. This effort usually occurs every 2 to 3 years. So one year may be really busy and then the next year may be a bit more quiet. So starting with quarter one, if your organization is within a repaneling year, a procurement professional is focused on finalizing those negotiations with your strategic partner firms. So that means getting agreements signed, getting the rates approved, setting up alternative fee arrangements, etc. The procurement professional is putting into implementation everything that was agreed upon with your firms. Depending on the number of firms, it could take the whole quarter to really get organized. Procurement and the law department need to work very closely together during this time to make sure everything goes as seamless as possible. Also during quarter one, the procurement professional may be doing reporting on the past year and reviewing outside counsel guidelines and making changes to those guidelines for the new year ahead. So very busy. Quarter two then slows down a bit, so the procurement professional can then focus on reporting and analysis. The first quarter is complete, so now the procurement professional can really start looking at those metrics that they've set and can make sure that billing and spend look right based on what was negotiated earlier in the year. Procurement professionals and law departments may even want to sit down with their firms to see how these new negotiated arrangements are going. So quarter two tends to be focused on reporting and analysis and vendor management. Quarter three continues the same theme as quarter two in regards to vendor management. Some organizations may conduct formal strategic partner firm evaluations at this point, and that's when procurement professionals, legal operations professionals, internal attorneys, and outside counsel all come to the table and discuss outside counsel's performance. In addition, during quarter three, the next year is in sight, so RFP activity may increase as new providers are determined for the next year. Any savings projects tend to be wrapped up at this time as well, and there may even be some leftover time for improvement efforts. Then comes quarter four, and it gets really busy. It may be the busiest quarter for a legal procurement professional. Again, this really depends on if it's a repaneling year or not. If it is a repaneling year, law firm negotiations then begin with those strategic partner firms. Law firm evaluations and discussions may also continue throughout this quarter. And then also the next year's business plan is being finalized after taking into account all of the law department's priorities. So a busy year indeed.
So what types of activities have consistent intensity throughout the year? Are there any?
Yes, there are several activities that need consistent maintenance throughout the year. One activity is maintenance of your outside counsel guidelines. A deep dive of outside counsel guidelines may occur once a year, but procurement professionals and law departments should be updating these outside counsel guidelines as new requirements pop up throughout the year. For instance, if a team updates the invoicing process mid-year, that update should be reflected in those outside counsel guidelines so an organization's firms have somewhere to reference that new process. Firms may have been notified of the invoicing process change by some other method. It may have been through email or a message blast in your e-billing system, but firms need somewhere to reference that change. So make sure you keep updating those outside counsel guidelines. Another activity that needs maintenance are rate approvals. So law firms are bound to have new timekeepers come on their roster throughout the year, so organizations need to have a process in place to manage those rate approvals as they come in for approval. Law firm budgets also need to be maintained throughout the year, and a procurement professional may have a hand in that. These budgets need love and care, as the first one that comes in is not always accurate. Having great reporting around budgeting can help procurement professionals and law departments keep track of budgets and help them understand what law firms are staying within budget and those that are not. Lastly, vendor renewals and terminations will require upkeep throughout the year if vendors are not on that regular annual cycle. Vendors that may fall into this category include legal research vendors, e-discovery vendors, court reporters, you name it. So make sure you're keeping up with contract cleanup.
So does a legal procurement professional ever have to adjust his or her schedule?
Oh, yes. A legal procurement professional is always adjusting his or her schedule based on the needs and wants of his or her law department. With that said, at a higher level, I think the legal procurement professional schedule is going to continue to evolve. As the schedule you see here today may not be so in a year, may not be in 2 years, may not be in 5 years. This evolution is going to take place with the rise of artificial intelligence within this space. More tasks are going to be automated by new vendors coming in this space. We are already seeing it. It's a very active space. But with this evolution, vendor management is going to continue to grow in importance. So the procurement professional will be needed to help facilitate this important piece as the space continues to evolve.
Well, thank you, Megan. This is very interesting. Lots of work to do every year. So for further information, please go to buyinglegal.com. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.